Thanks for watching the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're here with the latest news of the Montgomery County Council. And we begin this week with the proposal to raise the county's minimum wage to $15 per hour by the year 2020. The bill gives nonprofit organizations and companies with fewer than 26 employees until the year 2022 to comply. Council members are set to hear from all sectors of the public on this measure that's receiving lots of feedback.
When I talk to most people, they understand perfectly well that nobody can live on $11.50 in Montgomery County. Nobody's confused because, even middle-class households, we've been cited as one of the most difficult places for middle-class folks to live. Housing costs are just way too high. And, we know that half our renters are spending over half their income on housing. And if the standard nationally is 30%, they're way over what they ought to be spending. And as long as wages are low, it's going to continue to be a problem. So it's the right thing to do.
The measure passes 5-4.
The council passed Elrich's first minimum wage bill in January, but did so with a 5-4 vote. Not enough to keep County Executive Ike Leggett from vetoing it. Leggett has asked the county council to amend this new proposal to a later date and also amend the number of employees in defining a small business, something Council President Roger Berliner says needs to be considered.
I think that the county executive's letter provides a path forward for those of us that were concerned with respect to the impact on small business. And we had enough businesses who came to us and said, we will lay people off. Councilmember Berliner, if you adopt it at this pace, I am out of business. I will lose my business. I will lose my home because I mortgaged my business with my home mortgage.
However, Mark Elrich says there is no need to make any changes to the bill that's on the table.
The worry seems to be all on one end, but when you talk about people making $11.50 and wondering how they adjust to paying rent and buying food for their family, not a word from the proponents of slowing it down. I'm not interested in delaying this. I think 5 years is plenty for small businesses. I think 3 years is absolutely appropriate. If we were like California and New York, we'd be going after the big stores in a much shorter time frame.
In other news, discussion on the future of transportation here in Montgomery County, and specifically how self-driving vehicles fit into that picture. The council heard from several transportation experts on this technology that's anticipated to be widespread in the next 10 to 15 years.
I look at all the benefits associated with this technology and say to myself, oh my goodness, the sooner the better. The sooner that we don't have people dying in cars, the sooner that we don't have crashes that tie up the beltway. So everything operates more efficiently. Your time is spent more efficiently. The environment is treated better. So this is not a technology to be fearful of. This is a technology to be trying to work our minds around. How can we make it happen, and what is the implications for us as policymakers? Do we have more parking? Do we have less parking? Do we have more highways or do we have less highways? How does it change how we think about public transit? So my goal as council president was to introduce this conversation so that we can begin getting our minds around it, so that we can decide going forward big decisions about how your taxpayer dollars are going to be spent.
Coming up on October 7th, the community of Burtonsville will be celebrating the revitalization of some of its commercial attractions. The Taste of Burtonsville will help celebrate the completion of these projects. Officials say they hope enhancing the appearance of these properties will boost the economy in Burtonsville.
Burtonsville, folks know, it's not a secret, is one of our economically challenged areas in the county, and it has a higher unemployment rate than most of the county. We've been doing a lot of things to encourage business development there, and we have a lot of great restaurants there that people don't know about. So on the heels of the third annual Silver Spring Restaurant Week that my office started a few years ago, we're sponsoring this Taste of Burtonsville with the county exec's office as well and the East County Regional Center. We're trying to get people out on October 7th to try a lot of the great cuisine that's in Burtonsville. We have so many authentic regional restaurants from all over the world, and we want to make sure people know all about them.
Well, that does it for this edition of the Council in Brief. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.